Now, Tony Abbott is a very good man, and he is known to the forces of darkness to be a very good man. They hate him. And when Sir David King, the scientifically illiterate chemist, who is for some reason William Hague's climate change ambassador for the United Kingdom, going round very quietly all the nations of the world, trying to persuade them that come Paris they must all vote yes to the treaty, because otherwise we're going to get 4 Celsius of warming over the next 100 years and the world will end and the sea level will rise and it will all be doom and gloom. He was asked by the Environmentalist Committee of the House of Commons in May of this year whether all the nations of the world were now in principle ready to sign their people's rights away in such a treaty. And he said, oh yes, but there are 2 standouts. One is Canada. But don't worry about Canada, he said, they've got an election in the spring of 2015, and we and the UN will make sure that the present government is removed. He was quite blunt about it. And the other holdout was Australia. And Australia he can't do anything about because Tony Abbott is in office until after the December 2015 conference. So that means you all, first of all, need to guard Tony Abbott's back, because the Turnbull faction, in conjunction with the UN, will be doing their absolute level best to remove your elected Prime Minister from office before the end of his term, and in particular before December 2015, so that they can get 100% wall-to-wall Marxist agreement. They do not want any standouts. And the most likely standout at the moment is Australia. God bless it. So look after him. And there is one thing that you should advise him to do, and that is there must be in this unspeakable treaty draft a get-out clause, a freedom clause, a clause which says that any nation, when it eventually comes off the Kool-Aid and wakes up to the fact that after a couple of decades without global warming there is no need for any such treaty, it can simply give 6 months or a year's notice to the depository, which is in this case the UN, and thereby free itself of all obligations under the Treaty of Paris. That treaty provision was written into the Kyoto Protocol and was taken advantage of by Canada just recently. But if we were not to have such a provision in the World Government Treaty they're going to try and put in place in 2015 in Paris, then that could be the end of freedom and democracy and the Christian way of life worldwide. It is that serious. So I want you all today, tonight, to write to Mr. Abbott and tell him that a provision like Article 27 of the Kyoto Treaty must be included in any treaty draft at Paris or at Lima this year or at Paris next year, so that we make sure that the nations of the world are not locked into something which in due course they would very nearly all bitterly regret.